Hey there, bow-tiful. I'm Leslie from Leslie's Cookies and Treats, and today we're going to decorate these cookies. But if you're into cookie decorating or you want to try your hand at a fun Valentine's Day project, I also have a free cookie decorating class. It's free right now for a limited time, and you'll learn to make these adorable little fantastic animal Valentine's cookies. We'll talk about royal icing consistencies, we'll learn layering and how to do wet on wet effects and how to create separation between the layers. We'll talk about transferring your designs and so much more. It's a lot of fun and you'll have these really cute and delicious cookies at the end that you can give your Valentine. So while it's free right now for limited time, give it a try. The link is in the description. But now, my bolicious friend, let's get decorating these cookies. So taking your heart cookie and a 15-second royal icing consistency in red, let's go ahead and outline our heart. To do the outline, you're going to want to touch down and lift up your icing bag and go around the edge slowly, following the line of icing as it's dropping rather than watching your piping bag. And once you've finished with your outline, go ahead and flood it in with the same icing, and if you wiggle your piping bag a little bit as you're flooding, it will settle down easier. And then I'm just going to use my piping bag here to get my icing all the way out to the edge. I'm not squeezing any more icing out. I'm kind of just using it like a giant scribe or toothpick. And I'm not making these designs for any particular reason today. I'm just doing it for fun and for something that I can show you how to do some quick designs that you can give your Valentine or Galentine. So once you've flooded your cookie, go ahead and stick your toothpick or scribe right in the middle and give it a shake, and then set it aside to dry completely. So my heart cookie is completely dry, and I'm using a projector and the font Sweet Creamy. And my icing consistency is a medium or detail consistency, probably about a 25 to 30-second consistency. And I cut just the tiniest hole in my icing. You want your hole to be just as small as possible while still having your icing come out smoothly without curling. And sometimes if you hold your piping bag more like you would a pen or pencil, it's a lot easier to pipe when you're doing lettering. And I'm just going to follow along with my projector here and outline these letters. You kind of have to keep your piping bag tilted a little bit to the side in order to not cover up the projected image, but with practice it gets easier and you can do it. And if my hand gets in the way a little bit and I can't see what I'm doing, as long as my letters are spaced properly, that's really all I need here. Now I'm just going to move my cookie over and we're going to do the little tiny word "you were." You're going to want to go slow, keep your icing bag close to the cookie, but not touching down on the cookie. And I had a little clog in my icing bag here, so I stopped and pinched and squeezed that out. And now I'm just going to go back. So you're going to want to touch down, lift up just slightly, and then follow your letter around. And then I'm going to add in the little apostrophe and then scoot my cookie over a little bit to finish the rest of the word. And when you're doing lettering, I find that it's better if you just take your time, you have some patience, and you don't go too fast, and just carefully follow the letters around. And once you finish tracing your letters, this cookie is finished. You could also have it say bows before bros, which would be great for your Galentine. Now set that cookie aside and let's go to the bow cookie. You're going to want to squeeze a little squiggle of red royal icing out at the top of the bow, and then we're just going to use a dampened paintbrush to smooth that icing out and get it out to the edges across the top. That's going to be the background for our bow loop. And we'll give that just a second to dry while we move down to our tails, and we're going to outline and flood those in with the red royal icing. And then I'm just going to use my scribe to smooth the icing out and get it out to the edges. Decorating cookies takes a little bit of patience, but if you have patience with this step and you take your time and you get it smooth, then your cookie will have a really professional finish. So once you finish doing the tails, put the cookie aside for 15-20 minutes until the icing crusts over, and then come back in and use the same icing to outline the section of the bow, and just go ahead and flood in that whole entire section. We're going to use a royal icing transfer in the middle of the bow for the knot. And I'm just about out of icing here. I'm using every last bit of icing to fill this in, and so I'm going to have to use my scribe to get it all the way out to the edges because I didn't really have enough icing. And I got a new background for my cookie table also. Let me know what you think about this gray. I'm not sure I like it. So set your bow aside to dry until it crusts over, and then grab that white royal icing again with a tiny hole and a medium consistency or a detailed consistency. And we're just going to outline this entire bow. Be careful to follow along with the line of icing as it's falling and not watch your piping bag. so that you can go right along the edge. Go slow, lift up your piping bag a bit as you're pulling your line across, and apply even pressure on your piping bag. That will all help keep your line of icing smooth and follow along the edge of the cookie. Don't rush this part or you'll end up dropping your line where you don't want it to go. So just take your time and go slow and watch your icing as it's falling. And you want to make sure you're using a detail consistency icing here. If you're using a flood consistency icing, your icing will tend to spread a little bit and it might not be as thin or as detailed and neat as you would like it. And once you've finished outlining, this bow-tastic cookie is ready for a royal icing transfer. And I made these heart royal icing transfers in another video. And this is a great way to decide what you want to do with your cookie without having to actually put it on your cookie. So if you make a royal icing transfer first, you can set it on the cookie and see what it looks like before you commit to a design. And that royal icing transfer sheet's available on my website if you're interested, but I just put a bit of royal icing on the back and stuck it right down to my bow-tiful cookie. What do you think? Would you give this to your Valentine or Galentine? It looks super cute, packaged up as well. This is what the outside of the box looks like, and I got these boxes from Miss Cookie Packaging. Thank you so much for watching this Bowmazing tutorial. And if you're interested in learning more about cookie decorating, don't forget to check out the free class. All the links are in the description. And finally, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me out a lot.